In this video, I'm doing a video response to Natalia at Ouroboros. Her hashtag, which I don't remember because squirrel, but it's the claim your power and how to claim your power through tarot. And where she talks about two of her favorite tarot decks, and that two tarot decks she idolizes, idealizes, or aspires to, or makes, she looks at it and she like totally relates to. Excuse me. Again with the about to sneeze. And two tarot cards that she devalues. And I watched that and just chuckled to myself because I'm not going to. The two cards she devalues are two tarot cards that I devalue as well. And the premise is, it's both the ones you idolize and the cards you devalue are aspects of yourself. Okay, so they're opposite sides of the coin that is you. And I had to chuckle when I watched her video because there's an Italian saying, chi disprezza compra. Or it's in dialect, chi disprezza compra. And it's basically, it's like saying, like, it doesn't, trying to figure out the exact, like the interpretation, the exact translation, the literal translation is, he who devalues it buys it. And I guess the interpretation is you devalue it because it's an aspect of yourself you don't like. So, yeah. So I thought it would be fun to do it. And I have 4 for each one. And I wanted to just pick 2 for each. But these are the four cards, the 4 tarot cards that I look for in a deck, or that I smile when I see it. It makes me happy. And the 4 that whenever it comes up in a reading, it's like, oh, Jesus, these again. So I'm going to start with the ones that I devalue. The first one, and the deck that I'm using today, is my Albano weight that I received in a swap from a lovely lady who I'm going to call out right now and say, where are your videos? Because I'm waiting with bated breath for you to upload another video. All right? Your intro is beautiful. Now, get to work. All right, so Albano weight. The first one, and these are in no particular order, is the Justice card. I hate this freaking card because when this comes up, it's like, well, you have to weigh things. Is it fair? It always comes up in a reading having to do with fairness and like karma. You know what I mean? It's like, the balancing out of energy and stuff like that. And I hate this because it reflects immediately a side of myself that drives me mental, and that is the fact that I'm constantly. I think it's my moon in Libra that makes me always focus on the unfairness in any situation. If someone is having problems, they're struggling, they come to me, and if I see that they are victims of unfairness, it just gets my hackles up. So when I see this card show up in a reading, it's like oh, that aspect. Of course, it's that aspect of myself coming up and saying that the unfairness and how to make something, the energies balance, or the energies are not balanced, and all that. So that's the first one, and I hope I'm doing this correctly because I watched Natalia's video last night, so I hope I got it. The next card I hate because is the Hangman. I hate this card because I tend to get stuck in my way of seeing things. And this card needs to stalk me to get me to turn around and look at something from a different point of view. I also am one that will make decisions, um, drastic decisions, dramatic decisions, like, very important decisions, and pretend I'm not aware, even though I am, that there's going to be a sacrifice involved. And this card calls out that side of my personality that gets stuck in viewing things my way and not looking at it from a different angle, and refusing. That part of me that resents Freudian slip, and resists surrendering to the flow. So that's why this card. And notice how I'm getting like, oh my god, this card, this bastard. This is my card of the year for 2019. I hate this fucking card. Because this is the card of institutions. This is the card of organized religion. This is a card of education, leadership. This is the card of policies and procedures. And this is a very, I view this card as, the whole, institution and all this stuff. And because in my profession, one, I'm a licensed medical profession. So this card embodies parts of my profession that I find just rub me the wrong way, because it's having to conform to policies and procedures where sometimes it's not taking the individual person's best interest at heart. So there's a part of me that rebels against it, and this card reminds me of that. There's a part of me that although I do teach, I'm not currently teaching, but I do. I used to teach, and I have strong leadership skills. I rebel against these abilities to teach, to lead, because of the burden of responsibility. This card reminds me of that. Calls me out. And the fourth one, that when I see it, it's like, I can't stand this freaking card. It's the Seven of Cups. Why? Because this is what it looks like in my mind. This is a snapshot of me going in 7 different directions, jumping to conclusions right away that the worst case scenario, like I always jump to the worst case scenario. I'll make a mountain out of a molehill. I overwhelm, because I like to do very focused, detailed kind of work. This is a card that calls me out on my ability to take something very simple and just blow it way out of proportion. And when I see this, it's like, calls me out. I hate this card. I hate this card because it's not untrue. So these are the cards I devalue because they are aspects of myself. This is me that just gets stuck with, it's not fair. Well, no, life is not fair, but this is the one where I get stuck in my way of viewing things, and I want to move forward, but I don't want to surrender to the flow. Or I want to move forward, I want to gain new ground, but I don't want to sacrifice the ground I'm on. This I just finished explaining, and this one as well. So these are the cards I devalue. And because I know this about myself, when these cards do come up in a reading for me, I'll look at them and go, oh, that pattern again. So that's the gift, right? That's the power in these cards that I devalue. These are the cards that when they show up are totally, I love them. First of all, I'm a Leo. And when I see this strength card, I love this card. I love this card because my sun is in Leo, and because I am this card. I'm constantly working on this balancing act between my Leo fire, and it just reminds me of my sun sign and my ascendant, which is Virgo. And I see this, and this just reminds me that you are the way you are because you're Virgo rising taming your Leo sun. And it just makes me feel like all is well in the world when I see this card. And that's strength. The next two cards go hand in hand for me, and I idealize them for probably similar reasons. One is the Tower card. When I see the Tower card, I get all fizzy because I love change. When the Tower shows up, it's like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna change? I love shaking things up, literally. And the Death card is also, for me, they go hand in hand. I love these two cards. These embody what I love the most about life. These embody my philosophy that every day, every moment, not just every day, every moment in your life brings with it an opportunity to start over. You don't like it, you don't like the life you're living, you're unhappy, you're stagnating. Every moment brings with it the opportunity to start again. So this is my philosophy of life. This embodies what makes me tick, what I embrace. And the last one is probably my favorite. Not probably, I'm sure it's my favorite. And it ties in with this. It ties in, again, with this, my philosophy of life, that every moment brings with it an opportunity to start over. And it's the Eight of Cups. I love this card. When I see this card, I even have a phrase in my head that goes with this card. Fuck this shit. Bye-bye. I'm out of here. When I see this card show up in a reading, either for myself or for someone else, it's a reminder of these two. So, those are my 4 tarot cards I devalue, and why? Because they challenge that aspect of myself that I don't really like. And I probably should have mentioned that another reason, these major arcana cards are very stuck cards. And the fact that I idolize the Tower and Death, I devalue these because you have to stick around. You can't move yet. you can't make a move yet. You can't make a change yet. You need to experience this first. You need to pause, especially this one. And I hate the pause. The pause, for me, is torture, literally like hanging me upside down. Thank you so much, Natalia, for starting this conversation. I look forward to seeing other people's cards they idolize and cards they devalue. I'll make sure to put the appropriate hashtag and everything at the bottom of my video. Please, if you're out there and this speaks to you, do post a video or Instagram or whatever, and just let me know you're doing it so that I can come and see, because this is fun. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and again, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.